Hey guys, NW Order for Life here with Tokyo Ghoul episode 12 review. This is the final episode of Tokyo Ghoul. Too much really to talk about it individually, so I'm just going to jump right in about what the episode is mainly about. And it's about the torture of Kaneki at the hands of Jason. Jason, uh, just like in the previous episode, we heard Jason cut off fingers and toes and things like that. This episode really focuses on showing you the impact of the torture. As you can see, Kaneki's foot is like the skin coming out of like the part of the top of his foot is raw, so it's like a reddish raw color, showing you that it's new skin that had grown in, that it's all sore, and Kaneki is just freaking out, counting backwards. We find out that the counting backwards thing is something to help the prisoner maintain his sanity, and that seems to be one thing Kaneki can't grasp in this situation because he has delusions. I would say delusions because of a manga spoiler, but I'm not going to mention that spoiler. But it's either delusions of seeing Rize in his head, or it's or if you want to think of it as like maybe it's like the parts of Rize that are in him are somehow connected to him or something. But Rize tells him that uh, basically he's wrong for living his life taking pain from others and smiling about it, and just being a good just being a good person in terms of like absorbing the pain, taking the pain, and not dishing out anything to anybody else. She shows him images of his mom and reliving, he relives his past, and he sees that his mom, was kind to him and everything like that, and he's going through the motions, and then kind of like, Rize points out the flaws and says, no, your mom was actually stupid because your mother, you know, well, not that she was stupid, but that she was weak because she was choosing to give Kaneki, or rather to give her sister money, because her sister was a cruel person and hurt her and took advantage of his mother. But, you know, his mother did it anyway because she didn't believe in fighting back. She didn't believe in hurting others. So she gave money to her sister. And as a result, Kaneki barely had any time with his mom. And his mom worked 3 jobs and she got sick because of it, which eventually led to her dying. And so Rize is pointing this out to Kaneki, saying, like, you can't you can't do anything. Like you can't be the way that she was, because if you act the way your mother taught you, then you're going to end up the same way as your mother. And you have to realize that your mother was a fool. She was wrong. She was weak. And pretty much while all this is going on, Kaneki, his his whole mentality of not hurting anybody, of being a kind person, not being a kind person, but just of not hurting anybody, of not living like a ghoul, it's slowly breaking down in his mind, and you can see it with white flowers in the scenery, slowly like twisting into red flowers, and the twisting motion is literally like his psyche just being twisted, and the blood red symbolizing, I guess, murder, as opposed to the innocence and purity of white. And we see Jason, brings new torture involved. He brings the 2 people that were looking after Kaneki, a guy and a woman. Uh, they were they were telling him, like, don't worry, we're going to get you out of here eventually. I'm not sure if they were part of Banjo's crew or not. It might even be possible that Jason was basically telling them to tell Kaneki that, as a way to really break him at the end, because Jason says, these 2 have been taking care of you, and you thought they would save you, right? You thought they'd be your salvation, right? Well, now you got to kill one of them. Or he says more specifically, tell me which one to save, or I'll kill them both. And Kaneki can't find the resolve to make the choice because he feels like it would make him a killer. But they they end up both dying. The the man scream. The man finally gets his gag off as the woman is getting choked by Jason. He's like, "Kill me, pick me to die, so she won't die." And Kaneki is just, you know, freaking out. His eyes bugging. He's shaking. He's going crazy. And Rize is basically just saying, like, they both died because of you, because if you didn't, if you would have made the choice, then you could have saved one of them. And basically it all accumulates in Kaneki coming to the realization that he is weak because he's not making any decisions, and he's just let everything pass him by, and he's just let everything go on, and he's got to take action to his own hands. She shows him Hide, because Kaneki also thinks about Hide, how Hide was the only person in his life besides his mom that was there for him, and he's like the only person right now in his life that actually is like his place, his home. And then she mentions it, and then Jason also mentions Antiku. So he's got Antiku, Hide, these two people in his mind, and he's just being broken down to the point where it's like these two just died because of him, and now all these other people are eventually going to die because of him. Toka, all the rest of Antiku, his friend Hide. Eventually, they're all going to die if he doesn't stop what he's doing right now and start acting like a ghoul. And so Kaneki finally snaps, gives in to Rize's temptations or Rize's logic, and basically devours her in his mind, thus turning his hair in his mind white. And when Jason finally decides to kill Kaneki because the enemy is invading and he has to go kill them, Kaneki's hair is white, and Kaneki just goes nuts and breaks his chains easily and starts choking out Jason. And it develops into a Kagane fight, and Kaneki's Kagane is just overpowering Jason's, and he gets Jason on the floor. And there's one point where Jason actually grabs his leg. Kaneki like kicks Jason with the leg, and Jason grabs it, and Kaneki just twists his entire body around like that, where his leg looks like it's like a corkscrew. It's just twisted. And then Kaneki, like, as he twists his leg out like that, he like twists it back to go. Oh no, he doesn't twist back. He uses his other leg. He gets himself in position to kick Jason off of him, and then when he lands, he twists his other leg completely back into its regular shape that it was. I guess maybe the bone's instantly healing there or something. I'm not sure, because Jason did mention earlier that Kaneki's abnormal regeneration rate is because of the tinkering that the doctor did with him. Specifically, not just because he's a ghoul, but because the doctor made his regeneration like extra special, something to that effect. And so Kaneki pins Jason on the floor, and he uses his Kagune to like poke Jason in 4 spots on his body. Like his Kagune is like 4 wings right now. Literally they like transform into 4 wings. And if you think about it, it's kind of like the symbolism of like a butterfly. Like Kaneki had just hatched from and become this butterfly, but in this case not a beautiful thing. It'd be like a demented, destructive thing, but almost like a reawakening, a rebirth of sorts with Kaneki. I think that's what the wings symbolize, where his Kagune become like wings, 4 wings, and he pokes Jason in the 4 parts of his body, and it looks like he's absorbing Jason's blood through his Kagune, or maybe just his RC cells, and he's inflicting pain on Jason, and he breaks Jason easily to the point where Jason starts counting backwards because Kaneki tells him to count backwards. And then Kaneki's like, since you did all this to me, you don't mind if I eat you, right? And that's literally how the episode ends. And that's the end of the series. That's the final episode of the series. Kind of a anticlimactic and, well, not really anticlimactic, but it's just so cut and dry. Boom, end. Like, he goes eat him, and that's it. Like, there's no like next time. There's no end credits. Nothing like that. So, or maybe that was just how the video was produced or whatever by the subbers. But anyway, yeah. So that's it. Dark episode. Sad that Kaneki had to get to that point. I mean, you would imagine if Antiku could have gotten there, they could have saved him. He could have still could have stayed the same person he was, a good person that doesn't want to kill. But at this point right now, Kaneki has been pushed so far that he has accepted himself as not human. He's accepted himself as a killer that needs to kill in order to protect the things that are dear to him, which is, definitely a great thing to a mindset to be when you're a ghoul or whatever. And he's not going to attack his friends or anything like that, or kill innocent people. But what the sad thing about it is how he was broken into what he is right now. How you know that the old Kaneki pretty much was killed, or you know just done, and this new Kaneki has emerged as a result of all the torture and this mental breakdown. So it was sad in that way, but it was great character development for Kaneki. Jason is now dead, and yeah, and we'll see what season 2 picks up. Oh God, takes up. What? Picks up after. Yeah, where season 2 picks up the pieces or the place or whatever, and where the show will start. And hopefully, season 2 will be much better than season 1, which was a little slow, I think. But with Kaneki, with the white hair and his new, you know, soldier-like attitude, where he kills what he has to kill, and he has like this no emotion kind of face now with the white hair. It'll be badass and hopefully enjoyable. So let me know what you guys think about Kaneki and his transformation, and Rize and his mind, what she's all about, and what's going on with Antiku, or how Kaneki will get out of the place now that he's killed Jason. Anything you can think about. Leave me some comments below. I'll respond to any comments that I see. And subscribe to my videos if you'd like more in the future. Tokyo Ghoul is done for now, so stay tuned and we'll see what I do next to take its place. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and have a great night.